SAPSD Text Determination, the Comprehensive Expert Guide. Text determination in SAP Sales and Distribution SD is often underestimated. While it appears to be a simple mechanism for storing notes, it is the backbone of communication between the company, the customer, and internal departments. It governs how specific instructions, like shipping notes, legal disclaimers, or internal quality warnings, flow automatically from master data to sales orders, deliveries, and billing documents, and finally onto printed forms, invoices, or delivery notes, or EDI transmissions. An expert consultant does not just configure texts, they understand the flow logic, the technical storage, text clusters, and the integration points with output management and ABAP. 1. Architectural concepts and hierarchy. To master configuration, you must first master the vocabulary and hierarchy. Text determination does not use the condition technique in the exact same way as pricing, but it shares a similar philosophy, search strategy. 1. The text object. The text object is the highest level of the hierarchy. It represents the application area where the text resides. These are hard-coded, standard SAP objects. You cannot create new text objects without modifying the standard system, which is rarely done. Crucial text objects for SD consultants: KNA1, Customer Master, General Data; KNVV, Customer Master, Sales Area Data; VBBK, Sales Document Header, Quotes, Orders, Contracts; VBBP, Sales Document Item; LIKP, Delivery Header; LIPS, Delivery Item; VBRK, Billing Header; VBRP, Billing Item; Material Master, Basic Data, Sales Text. 1. Text ID, Text Type. Within a text object, you have specific slots for different kinds of information. These are text IDs. Example, inside object VBBK, Sales Order Header, you might have text ID 0001, Form Header, and text ID 0002, Internal Note. Expert Note, text IDs are 4-character codes. While SAP provides standards 0001, 0002, you will almost always create custom ZIDs, example, ZSHP for shipping instructions. 1. 3. Access sequence. This is the intelligence of the system. The access sequence defines the search strategy. It tells SAP, if the user creates a sales order, where should I look for the text? Step 1. Look in the Customer Master Sales area. Step 2. If not found, look in the Customer Master General. Step 3. If not found, look for a standard text, SO10. 1. 4. Text procedure. The text procedure is a container, or a grouping, of all the text IDs that are valid for a specific business context. You assign the text procedure to the document type, example, Procedure 01, assigned to order type OR. This ensures that an inquiry might only have 2 text types available, while a standard order has 10. 2. Configuration Deep Dive, Transaction VOTXN. Historically, SAP used separate transactions for different text objects. Modern hands-on experts use VOTXN, which is the central cockpit for all text determination. Step-by-step configuration logic. Phase A, defining text types, text IDs. 1. Open VOTXN. 2. Select the text object, example, Sales Document Header. 3. Go to Text Types. 4. Create a new entry, example, ZDEL, Delivery Instructions. Expert tip. Always verify if the text needs to be formatted, SAP script or SmartForm style, or RAW. Usually, standard settings suffice. Phase B, defining access sequences. This is where the complexity lies. You are defining the automated flow. 1. Select access sequences. 2. Create a new sequence, example, Z001. 3. Access sequence steps. Sec no, the order of the search. Text object, where are we looking? Example, KNVV, customer sales data. ID, which specific text ID in the master data should we copy? Example, copy 0001 from customer master to ZDEL in sales order. Partner function, critical setting. Which partner's master data do we read? Sold to, SP, ship to, SH. Scenario, shipping instructions should usually come from the ship to party, not the sold to. If you leave this blank or wrong, the driver might go to the wrong gate. Language, usually determined by the document language but can be forced. Requirement, VOFM. You can attach a routine, example. 1. To check specific conditions before copying. Phase C. Defining the text procedure. 1. Create a procedure, example. Zorhead. 2. Assign text IDs to procedure. Add your ZDEL ID here. 3. Assign access sequence, link ZDEL to access sequence Z001. 4. Flags. Reference. This is vital. If checked, SAP does not physically copy the text into the database table of the order. It just points to the master data. If the master data changes, the order text changes, unless the user manually modifies the order text, breaking the link. Expert advice, use reference sparingly. For legal texts, it's good. For transactional logs, it's bad because history is lost if master data changes. Text is obligatory, forces the user to enter text before saving. Rarely used, usually handled via incompletion logs. Access, this checkbox activates the access sequence. If unchecked, the sequence is ignored and the text must be entered manually. Phase D, procedure assignment. The final link. You must map your procedure to the document type. Sales header, assign procedure to sales doc type. Example, OR. Sales item, assign procedure to item category. Example, TAN. Billing header, assign procedure to billing type. Example, F2. 3. The flow logic, copy control. A common misconception is that access sequences handle all text movement. They handle the initial determination when a document is created. However, moving text from sales order, delivery, invoice, is handled by copy control rules. 3. 1. VOFM, data transfer routines. When configuring copy controls, VTLA for order to delivery, VTFL for delivery to billing. There is no specific text tab. Texts are copied automatically if 1. The target document has the same text ID as the source document. 2. The access sequence in the target allows copying. However, often you need to manipulate this. Transaction, VOFM. Data transfer, texts. Here you can write ABAP routines to conditionally copy texts. Example routine, only copy the shipping instruction text if the Incoterms are EXW. 4. Technical architecture, the real expert zone. To truly be a hands-on expert, you must understand how SAP stores texts, unlike standard data, stored in transparent tables like VBAK. Texts are stored in compressed binary clusters. 4. 1. The tables, STXH and STXL. You cannot view text content using SE16N on these tables. STXH, header, contains the metadata. TDOBJECT object, example. VBBK. TDNAME, the key, example. Sales order number. TDID, the text ID. TDSPRAS, language. STXL, lines. Contains the actual text, but it is stored in a raw, compressed binary format, cluster. 4. 2. How to read texts, ABAP and debugging. If you are writing a functional spec for a developer, you must never say, select from STXL. You must instruct them to use the READTEXT function module. Function module, READTEXT. This is the standard API to fetch long texts. Input parameters, ID, the text ID, example, 0001, language, SY Langu. Name, the document number. Note, for items, it is often docnum plus item num, example, 00001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 00010. Object, the text object, example, VBBP. Output, lines, internal table containing the text lines. Function module, SAVETEXT, or COMMITTEXT. Used to programmatically update or create texts. COMMITTEXT is required to physically write the data to the DB after SAVETEXT. 4. 3. The text name logic. This is where many consultants fail. The TDNAME key changes depending on the object. Sales header, VBBK. TDNAME equals sales order number, 10 digits. Sales item, VBBP. TDNAME equals sales order, 10 digits, plus item, 6 digits. Customer, KNA1. TDNAME equals customer number, 10 digits. Material, TDNAME equals material number, 18 digits. Expert trap, be careful with leading zeros. If the order number is 100, the TDNAME is 00000000100. If you pass 100 to READTEXT, it will fail. 5. Standard texts, SO10. Sometimes, you have static text that doesn't belong to a customer or material, but applies to the whole company. Example, holiday shutdown notice. 1. Transaction SO10, create standard text. 2. Object, TEEXT. 3. ID, Street 4. Integration, in your access sequence, VOTXN. You can create a step that looks up text object, text, and specific text name, holiday notice. This allows you to centrally manage a disclaimer that appears on every order. 6. Output management integration, forms. The ultimate goal of text determination is usually to print the text on a document. 6. 1. Smart Forms or Adobe Forms. When designing forms, you don't drag and drop table fields. You use a text node. Text type, include text. Text name, dynamic variable passing the order number. Text object, VBBK. Text ID, Z001. 6. 2 IDOCs, EDI. This is a critical area for high-level consultants. Standard IDOC segments for text are E1TXTH, header, and E1TXTP, item. Qualifier. The qualifier in the IDOC maps to the text ID. Issue. IDOC segments have a character limit, usually 70 or 132 chars. Long texts are split into multiple segments. Configuration. You may need to map external EDI qualifiers to internal SAP text IDs in the IDOC interface or middleware. 7. Troubleshooting and common issues. A hands-on expert is defined by their ability to fix things when they break. 7. 1. Text analysis tool. If a text is not appearing, do not guess. 1. Go to the sales order. VA02. 2. Go to Header, Texts. 3. Click the Analysis button, often hidden in the menu Go to, Analysis, or a magnifying glass icon, depending on the GUI theme. 4. This shows you the Access Sequence Execution Log. Step 10. Customer Master, Access Failed, Text Not Found. Step 20. Standard Text, Access Successful. 7. 2. The Language Problem. Symptom: text exists in Customer Master, but not pulling into Sales Order. Cause: the Customer Master text was maintained in English, EN, but the sales order is being created in German, DE. Fix: check the language requirement in the access sequence. Does it require a strict match, or is it set to all languages? 7. 3 reference text issues. Symptom: user changes the Customer Master text, and old historical sales orders are changing. Cause: the reference flag is ticked in the text procedure. Fix: uncheck the flag. Note that this increases database size. STXL table grows, because every order now stores its own copy of the text. 7. 4 formatting loss. Symptom: text looks perfect in SAP, but prints as garbage or loses line breaks in the PDF. Cause: the text editor in SAP Script Editor versus MS Word Editor uses different formatting tags. Fix: ensure the form style, Smart Style, matches the paragraph formats used in the text. Example, P1 or 8. Master data maintenance, the user side. As a consultant, you must instruct the business on how to maintain these. Customer Master, BP or XD02. Text tab. Note that texts are sales area dependent. A text maintained for sales area 1000 or 10 or 00 will not show for 2000 or 10 or 00. Material Master, MM02. Sales text appears on sales orders. Purchase order text appears on PO's MM side. Basic data text, Global 9. Advanced Scenario. Text determination from preceding documents. Scenario: you want the quote text to flow to the order. This is not handled by the access sequence in the order. This is handled by the copy control, VTAA. However, if you want the order to look at the quote first, and if that is empty, look at the Customer Master, this is a complex hybrid. Standard SAP usually copies the text from the reference document, quote, automatically if the IDs match. To implement the fallback logic, quote, then customer, you often need a VOFM routine in the copy control, or a user exit, USEREXITSAVEDOCUMENT, PREPARE, or MV45AFZZ. 10. Summary checklist for the expert consultant. When implementing text determination, use this checklist to ensure completeness. Check item description. Requirement analysis, specifically which documents need which notes. Shipping, legal, production, internal. Object scope header versus item level. Source identification. Where does the data come from? Master data versus manual versus preceding doc. Text ID naming. Use clear Z naming conventions. Example, Z001, Z002. Access sequence, define the search hierarchy correctly. Don't forget partner functions. Procedure assignment, link procedures to doc types and item categories. Copy control, verify flow from order, delivery, billing. Forms or output detailed spec for the ABA per on which text ID maps to which section of the invoice. Migration. If this is a rollout, how will we load the texts into the Customer Master, LSMW, or Migration Cockpit? Final expert pro tip. Always define a formatting text ID that is never printed but used for internal notes or audit trails. Also, be wary of the text determination procedure for texts in documents versus text determination procedure for texts in master data. You can actually configure a procedure for the Customer Master itself, determining which text IDs are available to be filled out in XD02. By mastering the interaction between VOTXN, VOFM, and STXH or STXL, you move from a configurator to a true SAP SD solution architect.